Going on, everybody? Welcome to the Lore Reloaded. I am your favorite streamer, the only streamer, the first one, in fact, first person to ever stream on this site. I mean, look it up. It's on Google. Lore Reloaded. It's good to see you guys. Hope everyone's doing well. Check me out at twitter.com/Lore Reloaded. Going to start doing some quote unquote. So they're lore runs, which is a direct copy off of what Lore Runner does. I just need to figure out how to say it better and rename it so that he doesn't get mad that I basically straight up copied everything he did. But I'll be doing something like that in the very, very short future. What is going up, Polal? So today, Nassim Agdam. How you doing, good sir? Today, not sure how long I'm going to be on. Going to kind of sit back and talk about something that's been going through circles and has been discussed widely. Many thinking that it is the destruction of Discovery. Others saying that it's just what happens. Really gonna break it down, good folks. Just break it down. And we'll see where it goes from that. But before that, let's say hi to a couple of people. We got Matthew Ramans, Commander Darjeeling. Okay, what are the quartet and their inside sources, voices in their heads saying now? I don't know what that means. I assume it's derogatory, though. Bird of Prey, bidding $1. Paladina Demo, buy Discovery for $1 and remake it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Anas wins. I doubt Anas is going to win anything. And is quite the little troll these days. Kind of showing his colors, which is unfortunate. On the bright side, I never really went whole hog supporting him, so I'm not the one that looks like an idiot. Tell Katwalski I said hi, not connecting that to anything. Hope everybody's doing well this day. All right, so CBS has apparently sold the rights, quote unquote, of Star Trek Discovery. However, it's not what a lot of people have been saying. It's also not anything that's necessarily outside of the norm. So, effectively, CBS has sold the linear television rights of Star Trek Discovery to E4, which is a European company. So, what does this mean? This means we're going to start seeing Star Trek Discovery available on television if you're in European countries. And I think they also impact Asian countries. Unfortunately, and it's E4 is a part of Channel 4, and unfortunately, that does not include the United States, nor I think any of North America. So, here's the thing with that. And I'm open to the conversation. By the way, 82 people watching and 9 likes. What the hell is that? British is actually a part of the European Union right now, good sir. At least for a little while. That is the way it's going to be. But beyond that, E4, whether it's British or not, E4, Channel 4, also does have several affiliates and such that go through Europe. And again, from what I can tell, Asian countries as well. So, ultimately, again, a lot of people have been saying, well, this is the death knell, or just reading a title and not doing a lot of research into it. And ultimately, apparently, this is something that happens a lot, though there is a little bit of weirdness with them using all access, because generally, when they sell rights like this, the shows have been on TV in America. Or at least the U.S., because America's not just the U.S. So it's kind of, I guess it's anticlimactic, I would say, because they sell all kinds of things. They've sold The Good Fight, Charmed, Man with a Plan, and from what I could tell, other Star Trek series were also licensed through Channel 4. So ultimately, all this is them doing what they've always done. And the licensing is only for linear TV. It's not like they're selling the IP or anything like that. It's still going to be available on all access, and they still have the ability to do whatever they want with it. So I guess I kind of just wanted to come on and have a conversation, see what you guys thought about that, because this has been blown way the hell out of proportion. Not only Is it something that isn't really a big deal? It's not the total sum of the rights. It's just the linear TV rights, which means they can play it on TV. It's something that gets done all the time. Laura, you have to refresh the stream manually to see the actual likes. Let me see. Let's test that right now, because on mine, it actually updates all the time for me. Yeah, it's the exact same on mine, because I'm looking at it from my command control, whatever the hell they like to call this thing right here, studio beta stuff. It's not like you plebs who have to watch it from the actual channel itself. But anyway, I'm interested in what you guys think and what you've heard about it, because I just sat here for the last 30 minutes to an hour researching all of this, only to find out that everybody under the sun does this. It's not really selling anything but the ability to play it on a TV. And the only difference in this is that, first off, most all of the things they sold generally was on television beforehand. This wasn't. And they decided not to accept like an S-ton of money from Netflix and did their own thing with it. Because apparently Netflix originally was about to give them just an unreasonable amount of money. Does this have anything to do with the lawsuit for the plagiarization? No, it doesn't have anything to do with the lawsuit. Anas Abdin lost the lawsuit. He apparently is either a troll or a baby and is probably going to lose the appeal. Oh, I thought CBS had sold Star Trek. Is this news? Can we talk about Hillary outing Tulsi Gabbard as a Russian agent? All I got to say is that I'm going to miss Tulsi. Going up against Hillary, I imagine that she's not going to be long for this world for much longer. Most people who go against the Clintons aren't. Selling to the BBC 4, that's the edgier BBC channel that aired Torchwood. Wonder if it will reciprocate to BBC America. My understanding, BBC 4 also goes out to the... B4 is what it says. Channel 4 also goes out to apparently the European Union in some way, as well as certain Asian countries, unless I'm just misunderstanding this. CBS decides to go George Lucas. Yeah, that to a degree is how it works. So I don't know, guys. Again, the more I think about it, maybe I shouldn't have gone live. If you want to talk about something else, we can. But after watching 2 or 3 videos about how this was the end of the world, I went and did my own research on it, which apparently no one does. And it again, it's just nothing. It's just, wow, they're selling TV rights. And apparently they do that all the time. Love the shirt. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of this shirt. CBS is not selling Star Trek Discovery, alas. They are selling the TV rights to Star Trek Discovery. Well, since they classified it as a fan fiction, since fan fiction is non-canon, that means Discovery is licensed non-canon. When did they say that, Justice Ag? I'd be very curious. I'd love the citation for that. What's going on, Franklin? You're always welcome here. 103 views, 36 likes. Yeah, I know. I get disappointed too. People just don't like it. Channel 4 has never had it. It was Sky 1 E4 is a teen channel. I don't know what that is. I can tell you who they sold it to, though. They sold it to Channel 4, also known as E4. E4 has several different avenues in which they show their stuff, including but not limited to the British Isles, as well as the European nations, I'll say European Union, and I think Asian, but I could be wrong on that. Thoughts on the Picard hero ship? It was fine. I've always liked watching, I've always liked playing Mass Effect, so it's cool that we'll get to see that. Sounds worse than it is then. Yes, absolutely. That's one of the reasons I came on here, is because it does sound a lot worse than what it actually is. It's just the linear TV rights. It is a symptom or consistent with the way everything in our country works. It's basically something that happens all the time, but the actual title looks worse than it is. So, likes must be earned, never given. Sir, I do all kinds of things to earn likes. You don't even know. Wonder if they have decided All Access gets the axe. From everything I can see on this, it looks like this is just Season 1, Season 2. It doesn't look like it's the rights to Season 3. Now, that may be an interesting piece there. The Season 3 itself apparently wasn't sold, from what I can tell. Now, I could be wrong. But Season 3 itself wasn't sold to E4, at least the rights to show it. So I don't know if maybe they're trying to get the European market hyped about this so that they can sell CBS All Access or whatever they've been doing in the past to get them to season 3, which is something very CBS to do. CBS would be that, I don't know if it's deceitful, but I could definitely see them doing something like that. What's going on, Continuum Trek? I wonder will they, I think I already said that. At least they finally admitted Star Trek Discovery isn't canon. When did they admit that? Let's talk about that. That is the third or fourth person. So let's look that up because that is ridiculous. Star Trek Discovery, not canon. Let's see if there's anything here. I'm not seeing anything. So where specifically do they say it's not canon? I would be very interested to see that information. Revenge is a dish best served cold, and it's very cold in space. And in space, all warriors are cold warriors. That brings a tear to the eye, Charles Rhineley. Just a tear to the eye. By the way, 93 people watching, only 40 likes. It looks like. Come on, just don't be. It's more scared of you than you are of it. But yeah, Star Trek Discovery is in fact canon, unfortunately, and beyond that. It looks like they're selling the TV linear rights, which means it will start showing on TV. And to that point, it seems like CBS can't win in this. I'm going to be honest with you. It is, so there was a complaint or a concern about it not being that you have to go through a paywall. They removed the paywall, and that means that it's suddenly sinking. I mean, I don't like Star Trek Discovery. I think it's poorly written Trek. I don't even think at best it's poorly written Trek. I think at best it is a intriguing science fiction show with a Star Trek skin at best. But I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder why people are confused about it too. I'm waiting. If there is a source, I'll be happy to take a look at it. Now, you can sit there and say, well, it doesn't make sense. It's not logical for it to be in there. There's tons of continuity issues. It's not well written. It just doesn't jive with most of Trek. That's fine. I mean, Voyager, Enterprise isn't even the worst, but it has some blatant ones there. But Voyager, Deep Space Nine, TNG, have all had these issues. They just took it to the next level. J.R. Chadwick, the trouble with Edward completely messes up the continuity with Tribbles. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys, and this is sort of, by the way, J.R. Chadwick and Gregory Whitaker, thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. You guys don't know how much that really helps out. I sincerely appreciate it. By the way, welcome Sci-Fi Nation who subscribed. I will be honest with you. I have not watched the short treks yet because I'm going to sit down when I can analyze them and do a breakdown on them. I guarantee you, though, the trouble with Edward, I can find TNG and Voyager episodes that'll do worse than what the trouble with Edward does. Do absolute worse. Without even seeing it, I can tell you that for fact. Just absolutely. All right. Let's see. Someone brought it here. Thank you so much, Gregory. My channel loves the effort you put in. So someone said it. Where is it? There it is. Did a video, Sci-Fi Wire article. Michael Shybone says it. So let's look that up. Let's do that. Sci-Fi Michael Shybone. Star Trek Discovery. Michael Chabon explains his new Star Trek shorts. All right, so now, first off, who the hell is Michael Chabon? Why? Who is he, and why do I care? Now, when I look at this and I hit enter, who said it? Justice Ag. When I look at this and I hit enter, I expect this to tell me, not only do I expect Michael Chabon to be affiliated directly and employed by CBS, but to be an executive that deals specifically in licensing and canon, because they actually have that division. All right, here we go. Michael Chabon. Michael Chabon is an American novelist, screenwriter, columnist, and short story writer. Chabon's first novel, The Mysteries of Pittsburgh, was published when he was 25. He followed it with Wonder Boys. Let's make sure that this is the same Michael Chabon. Michael Chabon, Star Trek. Chabon has been a part of the show's creative team since it was announced last year. He is a Pulitzer Prize-winning author. Yet I don't see anything that has to do with him being an executive for CBS that decides what the licensing is. Well, let's look at his... well, no, the IMDb wouldn't have it. No, not seeing anything there. Looks like he's a writer, though. Okay. So, not a CBS executive that works specifically for licensing, nor does it look like he's hired directly by CBS, but who knows? Maybe CBS specifically gave him the ability. Let's read it together. He's the showrunners don't get to showrunners don't get to decide specifically what is licensed and what is not, nor at a meta standpoint what is canon. While he can put things into the show, which makes it canon, the show itself actually isn't decided by him. All right, here we go. Let's read it. Let's see what happens. Now, so Chabon doesn't work for CBS, nor is he let me rephrase that. Chabon isn't an executive of the licensing team, nor is he hired directly by CBS. But you know what? As the new showrunner, maybe they're going to sit here and tell me, he's going to say directly, I have been given authority by God, of which I can now prove definitively, and everyone should be Christian, that I decide what is and isn't canon. So I'm sure something like that is going to show up. Let's take a look at it. Here we go. All right. Okay, so hold on. Here we go. All right, everybody here. If you're an atheist, Chabon is about to make us all Christian, and we're about to figure out that Star Trek Discovery isn't canon. All right. Are you ready? All right. So this is by the Sci-Fi Wire, written by Ryan Britt, October 14th, 2019. All right, hold on. Got to get the body ready. Got to get coffee. Brought to you by Circle K. Here we go. Okay. The showrunner of Star Trek Picard and writer of the recent Spock and #1 Centric Short Treks episode Q&A could very well be the most talented fan fiction writer on the planet. Though he's won a slew of big-time awards, from the Pulitzer to the Hugo, for his novels and works of nonfiction, Michael Chabon considers his writing on Star Trek to be no different than other fan fiction writers. Here we go. I mean, this is licensed and approved, and maybe that invalidates its status as fan fiction. Now, wait a second, Justice Ag. Justice Ag. Wait a sec. Just hold on. Okay, I need everybody's help. Are you guys ready? If you understand the English language, please listen very closely, because we're gonna parse this out. Okay, we know what that is. This is licensed. Now, hold on. I could get very confused. License definition. A permit from an authority to own or use... What's up? Sure. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm making fun of my subscribers. Don't ever use your mouth to open something. Why isn't Lori doing this for you? You want to say hi to people?
Hi. You know what I got?
What were you showing them?
This.
Oh.
And Mo, I made this.
Oh, is that from your Lego thing?
No, that's what I was playing, Elsa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I gotta ask you a question.
Yes.
Do you think Star Trek Discovery is a canon resource? Do you think it's in the Star Trek universe? Mm-hmm. You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you say anyone who doesn't think it is probably not as smart as you?
But it's smart of me, but it's getting tough about it.
We're going to talk about it?
You can check out Freddy's videos.
You can check out It's Funny. She watches It's Funny a lot, by the way. Great channel for kids.
Only Roy watched his videos a long time ago.
Yeah, here you go. Love you. You're awesome.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, sorry guys. Okay, so it's licensed. A permit from an authority to own or use something, do a particular thing, or carry on a trade. Grant a license to someone or something to permit the use of something. All right, cool. Here we go. Let's go back to it. Where was it? All right, here we go. Gotta get fucking mood. All right, here we go. I mean, this is licensed and approved. And that maybe that invalidates. Hold on. Hold on, Justice Ag. I'm getting confused, buddy. Invalidate. Make unsound or erroneous. All right. Here we go. Getting confused. All right. I mean, this is licensed and approved, and maybe that invalidates. So maybe that makes unsound or erroneous its status as a fan fiction. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get this through my head. Chabon tells Sci-Fi Wire, but I don't think so. I'm just sharing this with all my fellow fans out there who have always wondered about these questions. So Justice Ag, I'm giving you a hard time because that's who I am. But let me ask you guys this on a meta level. Are you acting in good faith if you take this right here? I mean, this is licensed and approved, and maybe that invalidates its status as a fan fiction, Chabon tells Sci-Fi Wire. But I don't think so. I'm just sharing this with all my fellow fans out there who have always wondered about these questions. Is it bad faith to say, you know what, this proves it's fan fiction? Or do you think the charitable way of looking at that is saying, hey, this is actually a part of the sci-fi universe, but for me, I'm doing it for my friends and we're just having fun with it. But I don't know. You know, I'm not very smart. I take words at like face value and try to be charitable about what people are saying. And I don't have any kind of bias towards this. So I don't know. I need to change that title. CBS sold the TV linear rights to E4, which means it can show on TV. Let me change that title while we're all here. Fan fiction confirmed ? Save. See, I know how to bring the boys to the yard. All right. The questions. The questions Chabon alludes to are front and center in the Short Treks episode's Q&A. First, why the heck did Spock smile in the original unaired Star Trek original series episode, The Cage? Second, after The Cage, how come Spock seemed to borrow his entire personality from number one? In writing Q&A, Chabot says he directly crafted a fictional response to these specific contradictions of old-school Trek canon. Sci-Fi Wire talked with Chabon at length about writing Q&A, reconciling the Cage canon, homages to a very famous Next Generation episode, and what all it means for Star Trek Picard. Now, Justice Ag, I did that because I know he takes a joke, and he loves it, and I'm glad we can all joke around. In all seriousness, and I'm going to leave it to you guys. In all seriousness, do you think this article at any point says that it's fan fiction and that it's not canon? A 100%. Jackson Kennedy, thanks for coming by, buddy. Always a pleasure to see you. I personally believe only the owners and creators of story can determine what is canon or not. So for me, no amount of fan fiction is official canon. The way of and there's the key word you use there, official canon. When it comes to canon and the channel, I do utilize official canon, which means whatever the IP holder says is canon is what it is. But that, if it doesn't make sense or they do something stupid, then you call that out. Like making Star Trek Discovery try to fit where it is. Trying to make Star Trek Discovery fit where it is doesn't make a lot of sense. It's silly. But is it canon? Yeah, there's the just like the animated series goes in and out of being canon. The animated series started off as not canon, and for the longest time has not been canon. But all of a sudden, now that Gene's gone and we want to make more money, all of a sudden the animated series, it's back in canon. Now, that said, if someone is like, you know what? I don't like Star Trek Discovery. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Voyager doesn't make a lot of sense either. What's canon for me is the original series, The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and movie A, B, and C. If that's what you want your headcanon to be, I don't have a problem with that. I don't see why people get all upset about that. You just can't say that's official canon because that's not how any of this works. TAS was not great. TAS was awful. It's TAS, the animated series. It is hard for me to watch any of those episodes. I can't stand the animated series. I'm starting to do breakdowns on those. Those are coming out fairly shortly, and I do not like the animated series. I just don't. I don't give a bloody hell what CBS says. It's canon. Star Trek Discovery, Enterprise, and now Picard for me will always be a part of the First Contact timeline. See, that's not fair, Commander Sloan. The Picard piece isn't fair, I don't think. We should wait for it to come out, in my opinion. I think that canon is flexible because of the multi-universe idea created by sci-fi authors. I don't think by sci-fi authors. I think in TNG, TNG basically fixes or explains a lot of it. Tribble Meat. Yes. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Who doesn't love Tribble Meat? Hey, you should do a Trek can with all the timelines showing Trek canon is a mess. It's awful, man. I have been thinking of doing that. That would take quite a lot to do, to be honest with you. None of the series really gel well together. Your best connections is TNG into Deep Space Nine, and everything else doesn't make a lot of sense. And season 1 and season 2, oh, no, this isn't Pumpkin. He's not a director. He's actually my editor. He thinks he's a director, though. TNG season 1 and TNG season 2 don't really jive with season 3, 4, 5, and however long it goes. In the first season of TNG, we find out that the Klingons are actually a part of the Federation. They are, in fact, core members. It's in dialogue, and it's also in the imagery that we see. And then within either the same season or the very next season, they just completely wipe it away. They completely say, no, that's not what happened. All for Worf. So, and again, TNG into DS9 is the closest link in smooth continuity. Everything else doesn't make sense. Toss into TNG, DS9 and TNG into Voyager, Enterprise, going into all of them. Doesn't do well at all. A good example of fanfic becoming canon is the 501st in Star Wars. It was just a bunch of fans, but Lucas loved their passion and made them canon. I didn't know that about the 501st. I actually didn't. I knew 501st existed. I just didn't know that it started out as fan. We should talk to Christians about how well debating canon has worked out for them. That's horrible. I'm not broken eyes. That's bad. Is cat built into chair? Yes, it is. But it's only this one. So I can keep reading this if you guys want me to, but that first paragraph tells me all I really need to know. He admits that it's obviously canon, but for him, he's always writing fan fiction with his friends. That's the most charitable way to take a look at that. But if you want me to continue going through it, we can. I have not seen the short treks, as I stated. I want to sit down and analyze them so I can do a breakdown as soon as I watch them. It would be intriguing to me to see if number one has a huge impact on how Spock acts. I would find that very curious. I'd find that very, very, that could be a good story, but I'd have to see it. I'd be interested. Cisco wanting to tear Picard's throat out in episode 1 of DS9 was a good tone for DS9's atmosphere. That was a good dynamic. I think that season 1 and 2 of DS9 stumbled hard, in my opinion. But they had some good dynamics. Half of the short treks are crap. 2 of them are excellent. 1 is good. Well, when it comes to, what is it? The Trouble with Edward and then Q&A. What do you guys think of that? J.R. Chadwick, how old was Torres when her dad left? 5, 6, or 12? I don't know. I can look it up. How old was Torres when her dad left? What's going on, Anthony Tallarico? J.R. Chadwick, thank you so much for supporting you guys. I really sincerely appreciated it. By the way, if you guys are watching, don't forget to hit that like button. The more you guys like, the more we can actually, have these conversations. Later, Carlos commended George for standing up. Who the hell? Carlos Torres? Is this who I'm looking for? I don't think this is who I'm looking for. Yeah, no, this isn't right at all. That's Grey's Anatomy. Why would I be looking at Grey's Anatomy? According to Lineage, John left his family when B'Elanna was around 11 or 12 years old, which contradicts information from Eye of the Needle Faces an Extreme Risk, stating he left when B'Elanna was around 5 or 6. See you later, TK. Thanks for coming by, buddy. Not sure why you're saying okay, see you, but thanks for coming by. I rather liked both, honestly, though that bloody turbolift chasm crap in QA was awful. Techno Hermit, fine. I wasn't bored. I like the intrigue and always look good to see any Easter eggs from TNG. I don't know. Short tracks are trash. When it comes to the different short tracks, I don't hate them. Well, I guess it depends on the ones. So what are the different short tracks for here? So The Escape Artist, I think, was funny. I really enjoyed it. But I liked a lot of the acting and stuff. Again, it could do anything. I mean, the actor was just really good. So it has a Star Trek skin on it, but that didn't really add a lot to me. So I liked The Escape Artist. I don't think it was Trek related. The Brightest Star I had very little interest in. Calypso was a great like romance short story. Again, it having a skin on it, a Star Trek skin to it, but it was a good, falling in love, etc. It's that same old one. It was just written in space, which is intriguing. Runaway was as stupid could be. And I haven't seen Q&A in The Trouble with Edward. So that would be my opinions on them. The ones I liked, I didn't like because they were Trek. I just thought they were pretty good, decent stories. All of this just has a Trek skin to it. How does Mudd know how to make androids? I don't know. Did they ever say how he figured it out? I love the idea behind the short trek. The content so far has been iffy, though. It's just a way of making money. It is a blatant way to keep you in CBS All Access while they don't have any new series going on. I think it'd be interesting if E4 having Discovery Television rights makes CBS rethink their strategy going forward. So Charles Stomvell, we kind of talked about this at the beginning. It's something that happens all the time. It happened with Charmed. It's happened with almost every other CBS product. The only difference is this one was behind a paywall. Usually they already go out of their way to start it out on TV. This is just more of the same. It's not anything intriguing. Now, maybe if they do well, they'll rethink it. If it does really well in the ratings for E4, I don't think they'll make them rethink putting it on TV. I think it'll only prove that CBS All Access was probably doing as well as they said it was. In DS9 Sacrifice of Angels, where did the Dominion Task Force stationed at DS9 go? They went with the battle on Operation Return. Everything at Deep Space Nine was sent to help, which was stupid as hell, by the way. Broken Eyes, live long and prosper. Lore, heading out. Talk to you later, man. Hope you have a good night, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. TTWE, The Trouble with Edward. Makes no sense. I don't want to say too much if you don't want it. I don't care about the spoilers at all. It doesn't bother me. So if you want to say them, but we may talk spoilers for those who do care. SC, haven't seen you in a while, buddy. See you on Ket Walski's channel a lot, though. But you can't come over and talk on my channel? Kind of weird. He crashed on the planet they were on, and they were walking around without purpose, so he helped reprogram them to give them a purpose to serve man, and by man he meant to mean him. Okay. Talk to you later, Gregory. Thanks for coming by. I don't like the remake of MacGyver and Magnum. I tried to watch them, but they were dumb and boring. Okay, well, that's kind of an interesting sideways. I wasn't a huge fan. I didn't watch Magnum. MacGyver, yeah, it wasn't my thing either. I didn't find it interesting. Well, Oni Kitsune, I did it for you, so I'm glad. Edward should have been cast as a Pagless. Okay. From what I've seen, it looks like he's getting the rotten end of the stick. My concern is that they have white guy stupid, white straight male stupid. SC, haha, I thought you banned me. I never banned you, buddy. Why would I ban you? What was the word I was looking for? Oh, my concern is that they're going to try to do the old trope that they've done a couple of times, which is white guy, straight white guy, stupid. Hopefully not, but I haven't seen it yet. If I feel that way, I'll say something, though. Regardless of how we feel about Discovery, you do have to acknowledge that it and the Kelvin films did what any series as long-lived as Trek needed to have done, bring in more fans. Maybe. And I think I've discussed this before. I don't think that Nostalgia Trek, I would agree that Nostalgia Trek, Star Trek, The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, I don't think these things necessarily could survive today. I think the way writing is and what fans expect and what audience members expect now has to be what we're seeing with Discovery. I would also say that I think Red Letter Media has it right when they say you can burn out too fast, that you need to be slower. Talk to you later, Darth Revan. So I would agree with a asterisk next to it, because I do think that you can go slower than they are and you don't have to go as far as they want. How much better would Discovery be without Burnham? If they stopped making Burnham this Christ-like figure and a focus on her and made it more ensemble. Even they could keep Michael. Just stop making her like as badly written as they do and make it ensemble. I think it could it'd be a lot better in my opinion. And I think there's evidence for that. When we see the focus not be on Burnham and when we see her brought down to the level of the plebeians, it's a lot stronger writing in my opinion. Edward is an incompetent and a-hole. Broccoli, smart, but douchey. Okay. And if that's the case, then the scenes that I've seen where he's being treated just horrifically by non-white people will make a lot of sense. Carlos, you haven't missed anything. We literally have been sitting here waiting on you. We haven't even talked about anything. Man, that moment when Burnham was like, we'll talk about my glaring character flaws later, I lost my S. Yeah, fair enough. Glory to the name of the blessed Burnham. Ramen, says Gareth Fairclough. Well, glory be. When the reimagined remake of Galactica first aired, I didn't like it, but it grew on me, and because the creators said it from the start, it's not part of the original series, but their own thing. CBS should do that. Yeah, CBS, I think, would have done better just to say, this is still all canon and we're going back to what it was. Because that was a lie. That was a straight up lie. And I'm not sure why they did that. And I hated that with every ounce of my being. I absolutely hated that. So. I don't even know. Fairclough, by the way. Fairclough. Okay. What's up, David Deister? Not a lot, buddy. Literally been waiting on you. We've all been sitting here bored as all get out. But now that you're here, the party can actually begin. So, yeah. I love the new Battlestar Galactica from the get-go. I really enjoyed the new Battlestar Galactica as well, but I never watched the old one. I got to be honest. I may have seen it like barely. I don't ever think I would have watched a full one, and I don't like... Compared to the reimagined, I don't like the older one, the first one. I think it's an inferior product. I really do. What news have I missed? What happened? Well, Mock the Nerd, if you're here talking about CBS selling the rights to Star Trek Discovery, this is actually a response to rumors that have been going around. They did, in fact, sell the rights, but it was just the linear television rights, meaning it can be shown on television in the United Kingdom and other European nations. Which is something that's normal. This always happens, so it's not anything new. LOL, Laura, what you told Carlos is what I tell my 8th graders when they come back to school and ask what they missed. Nothing, we just sat here. Well, good. I'm glad that you and me could connect like that, Jade. That's what I'm here for connection. If Star Trek Discovery continues, I really hope for Captain Saru. Yeah, they need to make him captain. Absolutely. That's why, as much as I hate to say it, they should have made more Discovery episodes. What? SC clickbait title. You know, it's a wonder that you think you got banned, my good friend. There's nothing wrong with clickbait titles. What have I not talked to you about? What have I not? The title says CBS sells the right to Star Trek Discovery / fanfiction confirmed. Those are things we've talked about, good buddy. Clickbait is only bad if it's not addressed, and it's been addressed. Don't hate the player, hate the game. CBS wanted to milk the nostalgia with the timeline and putting all Trek themes in one crazy overloaded arc. I would agree they tried to add too much too soon, but they also didn't really seem to care about going out. They didn't seem to care about continuity, and that's a huge issue if you say that. Chris Borland helping out the channel. Thank you so much for the support, guys. It's how I keep the lights on. So you think E4 will help the EU exposure? I do. Clickbait equals views and likes. Clickbait is literally trying to get someone to click on the video, and if it provides something the person likes, then I don't see how it's a bad thing. For instance, you could say that when an attractive woman that I'm with is scantily clad, you could say that's baiting me. However, when she puts out, it's not exactly the worst thing in the world, right? She baited and then gave what she got. So why is it bad? Or man, I don't care, whatever it is. I got you, bro. I got to work them tube monies. Yeah, that's exactly how it is, man. Because, I'm freaking rich from YouTube. I honestly could not go anywhere else. Continuity is only a huge issue with fans, not a casual audience. To a degree, Charles Riley, but I think that even casuals can have issues, especially if they get into it and they can start seeing the problems with it. So I would say yes and no. They didn't really do nostalgia, really. They just made up their new stuff and threw old names on it. They banked on nostalgia. They banked on the fact saying, this is exactly what you guys wanted. You didn't like Kelvin. You wanted to go back to what it was. You want it to be a part of the canon timeline. We're doing, by the way, welcome, Mashat. We're doing all this. Well, then welcome. That's what they're saying. And they didn't give that. That was a lie. Sorry, I had a small false alarm. What did I miss? Literally, once you left, Vile, we stopped talking. So I hope everything is okay. Perhaps a more appropriate title would be CBS sells the TV airing rights to Discovery. Well, Jeff Franklin, if you would like to make a Star Trek channel that is going to compete with me, and you can make titles like that and beat me, then I would be more than happy to take a look at that. CBS should have bought the rights to Star Trek Axanar and other Trek films. David Deister, thanks for the support. Could not disagree with you more. Why on God's green earth would they buy the rights to, wait for it, something they already own? That would be like someone I hate that line of thinking. Axanar was great. I think that what Alex Peters put together was awesome. But they already owned everything Alex Peters put in there. That's why he lost the debate. He lost the court trial, the whole thing they were doing. I would agree that it would have been awesome, and what they could have done is empowered Alex and said, hey, stop all of this stuff that really was inappropriate. Here's some money. Why don't you still make what you want? I think that would have been a win-win. I think they overreacted, definitively. But they shouldn't buy Axanar because they own everything Axanar had put into it. That was the entire problem. But again, I do think definitely they should have given Alec like $500,000 and said, here you go. We're going to approve a license. Go finish this. Make what you wanted to do. The hope forecast for season 3 has to be solid. If they fail, Trek is done for TV. I would be interested to see, and we talked about this beforehand. Jeff Franklin, it was just a suggestion. There's no ill intention. I'm messing with you, Jeff. Man, you guys know my humor, dude. Jeff, you gotta tell me you're okay, or I'm not gonna continue at all. When it comes to the television rights and everything, I'll be interested to see if it does really well. If the ratings just rock, if the ratings just rocked it out of the park, I think it'll only prove what they said, that CBS All Access was doing as well as is. And if it doesn't, I don't think there's any way for us to know. I have my doubts it's doing as well as it did. I'm still mad about Star Trek Renegades. That would have been a great show. You know, what's unfortunate is Star Trek Renegades could have probably finished. They just didn't know. No, that's Vile Mike. Well, they owned everything that was not original to Axanar. Right? They would not have been able to use any Axanar created ships or characters. I'm not going to get into this argument. It was the stream needs more cheesesteak. It does need more. I don't have my phone, or I try to do that. I'm not going to get into this debate with you. The court documents speak for themselves. Go take a look at it. I think they were more than interesting. I think that if CBS wanted to use like the Ares class, I don't know how that would go. I would agree with you there. That seems a little weird. CBS's gamble deal with E4. It's not a gamble deal. See, that's the other thing. And this is kind of the frustration for me when it comes to all this. It's not a gamble deal. CBS works with E4. It took me 30 minutes of research to figure all this out. CBS does business with E4 all the time. They sell them all kinds of stuff. E4 basically pimps CBS's stuff out. They really do. The only thing that was kind of interesting or odd about this transaction is this was one of the first, if not the first, that was not a series that was CBS All Access only. So that's the really only thing I could find that was interesting to that. They Charmed, Man with a Plan, other properties. I think they did other Star Trek properties with them as well previously. E4 has consistently worked with CBS. The TV linear rights generally always go to E4 apparently. So it's not anything new. And it was just blown well out of proportion. The problem with compromise between CBS and the Axanar production team is that CBS would be fully in control and wouldn't be making any money in it. There was quite a lot of problems, quite a lot of things going on for that. So it's. I honestly just cannot blame Axanar or CBS for what they did with Axanar. I just can't. When you look into it, it just doesn't make a ton of sense. It just doesn't gel, you know? So I can't do a lot with it. At least that's my opinion. I mean, you guys can disagree, but I think it somewhat speaks for itself. Sincerely. Seriously. Just seriously. Probably a way to edge into international right. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's why it was done. I'm sure it's probably like China, where you have to have a company that's in the know, because apparently that's a thing. You have to actually partner up with people in the countries, and I'm sure E4 probably works that way to a degree. I would have preferred if Disco would have been in Kelvin. Sure. Well, here's the one thing I will say about Axanar from the research I've done. CBS apparently felt like CBS overreacted. CBS, when they decided to go, they just went all in. They had absolutely no interest in any kind of real negotiations. I don't think they went into that with good faith. I think they wanted to squash and crush Axanar. I sincerely believe that. And I think that was the wrong way to go with it. Jeff Franklin, I'm surprised CBS hasn't sold TV airing rights in season 1 in the US. They want everybody to buy CBS All Access. That's all that is. CBS and the other networks have a tendency to cancel great shows for dumb so-called reality shows and now putting them on paywalls. I couldn't speak to that. I would have preferred Disco didn't have a billion cooks who had no idea. What was it, like 24 directors or something like that? I'd like to see a miniseries focused around the Earth-Romulan War where you see both sides of the coin. I'm actually going to be sponsoring the Romulan War. I don't know if you've seen it or not. But this, where is it? The Romulan War. This specific fan film, I'm actually going to be putting on the channel. I'd like to, yeah, and I do. I think they overreacted. But you know, darn normies, says Justice Ag. Ah, yeah. Normies irritate me too. I always thought E4 was a Freeview channel. I don't know a lot about E4. I don't. Can you watch shows on E4 for free? I have no idea. Yes, Unlocator does. No, that's how to bypass it. Can I watch live TV on E4? On demand is where you'll be able to watch the shows that Channel 4 offers from its channels. It can stream live, interact things. Is signing up to all four. All four is a free-to-view video on-demand service, but we require users to register their details to watch, which is very European. So I guess it is. There you go. Glad I could answer that. You producing that fan film or just support? Just supporting Vile. They're past that point. I would have been more than happy because now I got all the equipment to, throw my lot in and do whatever they'd like. I will be doing some of my own fan films too, though. Well, other than the Sky stuff, Virgin Media, God, that came out bad. Okay. I'd like to see the original Romulan War where there were no photon torpedoes, but nuclear missiles. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we'll ever get that. If they ever do it, I don't think they'll ever get that. I don't think we'll ever get that. But on free views for us in Wells, it's overridden by S4C. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry, buddy. Apparently there's a way to bypass that, though, if you want to see it. I don't know. It doesn't look legal. Talk to you later, Gareth. Thanks for coming by. Fairclough. Good sir. If that is even your real name, I have my doubts, if I'm being honest. Sir. Anyway, you guys have anything else, or we'll probably end it there. I kind of just want to come on and talk about that. I went off the rails quickly, like it always does. If we did get the Romulan War, it would be from the Enterprises, from Star Trek Enterprises. I'd be happy to help you make a fan film. I'm a great best boy. Well, if you're in Tennessee, maybe we can figure that out. The trouble with Edward breaks continuity bad of Tribbles and Enterprises The Breach and Toss DS9's The Trouble with Tribbles. I'm telling you, I haven't seen it yet, Jeff Franklin, but I guarantee that I can find worse continuity breaks in DS9 and TNG and Voyager. Rails for the if it is using VPN for now, it's not illegal, but it is a gray area. Where do you see Star Trek Discovery going from here? Andromeda. It's going to be Star Trek Andromeda. That is exactly what they're going to do. Is Discovery no longer streamed on Netflix in other countries? I don't know. I have no idea. I got to be honest. Netflix isn't available in my country, if it makes you feel... Or, I'm sorry. Star Trek Discovery on Netflix isn't available in my country. What? Tennessee? I'm in Knoxville. Are you? Well, that's cool. I think I already knew that, CP Last, and I think we've talked about that before. I think we've already talked about that before. The trouble with Edward completely breaks the scene with Phlox in The Breach. What does it do? How does it break it? I gotta watch it now. Does The Trouble with Edward break continuity? Apparently there was a person killed. Star Trek is supposed to be about humanity at its best, but every once in a while you got to remember that even in a universe. That may annoy me because I Star Trek is supposed to be about the best of the best, and so if they're moving away from that, I'm not a huge fan. Edward created a genetically different strain of tribbles. Okay, well if he did that, and I think I remember Ketwalski saying that they were sent into Klingon territory or whatever, which would explain why the Klingons hate them. I have a story explaining how O'Brien got demoted to NCO from TNG to DS9. One of them would be time travel when TNG crew altered the past. Okay. Flock says that tribbles reproduce quickly. The trouble with Edwards says they don't reproduce fast at all, but with genetic manipulation, they can breed more quickly. Does it give timetables on either? Because saying that they breed quickly is relative. Not only that, let me ask you a question. According to TNG canon, what is the Klingon Empire a member, a full-fledged member, as much as humans or Andorians? Are they a full-fledged member of the Federation? Man, they're excessively loud today, aren't they? Star Trek's Discovery will later add Andromeda Magog-like race with their worldship and worship of the star's avatar. I hope they don't go that way. They might, though. They might. O'Brien was never demoted. He was retconned. He used to be an officer. Everyone was an officer first couple of seasons. But yeah, so no. Can you guys tell me? Were the Klingons a part of the Federation? Are they a member world of the Federation, according to the Next Generation? Because if I'm asking the question, I'm about to beat down. Tribbles will be the main villain, Picard? Yes. At the beginning of TNG, they were. But eventually they got split off, especially in Deep Space Nine. Good friend, in the first season of Picard, they absolutely were. Not only were they, you saw both the Federation and the Klingon symbols put together and actually somewhat combined. Dialogue also states that they are a full-fledged member. That is one of the reasons why the Enterprise does not freak out when you have Klingon ships randomly decloaking in Federation space. They were, in fact, yes, a part of the Federation. That was retconned. Now, completely retconned. Never split off, never any explanation. They just pretended like it never happened, even though it happened in 5 episodes before. Why would you say did they do that? Because the writers decided, you know what? We want more drama with Worf. So we're going to have Worf decide if he wants to be a Klingon, a part of the Klingon Empire, or in the Federation. And so they just pretended like it didn't happen. But early season. Yup. In the DS9 book, tribbles aren't allowed on DS9 unless checked to be sterilized first. Okay, I didn't. That's interesting. But yeah, so in season 1, season 2, and it's not just that, Jeff Franklin. Jeff Franklin's giving the dialogue for it. It's not just that, actually. Again, all of the continuity, when you see the ships, when you see the layouts, when you the interactions and the way the crew responds, they are 100% as much as the Andorians, as much as the humans. They are a part of the Federation. So that's why I don't get too crazy. And I think that's, in my opinion, worse than what's been described to me on the Trouble with Tribbles. As I always say, retcons are not bad if the show is good enough so you do not notice. Star Trek Discovery is pretty boring, so I noticed everything on the spot. Maybe. I could see that. J.R. Wesley is an idiot. Oh, that's what I'm going to use when I get to that episode. J.R. Chadwick, hopefully I'll remember it was you that gave me that joke because I'll credit you, but that's what I'm going to use. I'm gonna make it out to be that Picard didn't want to hurt the feelings of his son, so he just agreed with him. He's like, you. What kind of idiot would think the Klingons would be a part? Yes, Wesley. Why, yes, absolutely they were. I love that. I'm gonna start using that. That's top kex, as dumber people than me would say. That was a crappy retcon, considering how many times the Klingons threatened to pull out out of the Kitamar Accords. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that was dumb necessarily. I think that's the natural progression for the Federation. I honestly think in Picard, the Klingon. Well, no, we know they aren't. The Klingon Empire just needs to become part of the Federation. It just makes sense to me. I know a lot of people disagree with that, but I think that's the best. Wesley is his son. I'm pretty convinced he was. I'm pretty convinced that Picard and Beverly got it on, and then Picard had her husband killed to cover it up. What's your opinion of TNG and DS9 Klingon versus Discovery Klingons? I don't think the Discovery Klingons are consistent at all. The continuity is pretty horrific. The way they look doesn't bother me. Klingons change like dramatically, just unreasonably, from TOS to the TOS movies, and then from the TOS movies to the TNG. And TNG, Worf's headpiece, his ridges actually change from like season 1, season 2, or season 2, season 3. So the way they look doesn't bother me all that much. I just ignore that. The Klingons were never members of the Federation. They were allies of the Federation, unless I'm missing something. Justice Ag, you need to watch the first and second season of TNG, good friend. They were absolutely a part of the Federation. Picard, the best of humanity, had his best friend killed to cover up an affair. No, yeah. Yeah, his best friend. And his best friend's wife, who he completely had a platonic relationship with. It's just, so evident. So evident, good sirs. All right, guys, we're going to be ending it shortly. You guys have anything else you'd like to add? Anything else you'd like to go into? Watch Samaritan Snare. Picard confirms Klingons were members of the Federation. See, I like to think that Picard was lying because he didn't want to hurt his son's feelings. Well, in the original series, they say Klingons will be friends with Federation. In Enterprise, they say the Klingons will become a part of the Federation. In Deep Space Nine, they're basically on the same wavelength. Talk to you later, Ana Iglesias. No, I'm good. He doesn't want to watch it. What would you say about rewriting the civilian presence in TNG being explained that civilians can be drafted as crewmen, warrant, and petty officers? That would go against everything we know about the Federation and the way the Federation works. I don't think that it would work well at all. I think it's pragmatic, but I just don't think that's the way it works. Spock was never the first Vulcan in Starfleet. I'm not even sure if Worf was ever stated to be the first Klingon in Starfleet, as Alexander's mom was in, and so was B'Elanna. Okay. All right. Well, enjoy your fapping, Nassim. On that good note, I think we will end it there. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to, rate, comment, and subscribe and all that good stuff. And I'm going to see you on the next Aloha Reloaded.